The Power Pod is an exclusive WSB radio production.
If you're in the NBA circles, you're going to know kind of who she is.
I think she has a cooking
I'm about to say
show.
yes, a cookbook and a cooking
Who
show.
doesn't have a cooking show nowadays?
You don't have one,
have
do
a
you, Jared?
I could start one. I make the best scrambled eggs on the planet.
This is The Power Pod with Randi Okray, Christina Aicklen, Nicole Bennett, and your host, WSB's Jared Yamamoto.
Yeah, that's right. You're listening to the Power Pod, and I am, in fact, Jared Yamamoto from the Von Hessler Doctrine on WSB Radio in Atlanta. Power Pod is a weekly recap show where we take the current events of the week, and we're not afraid to get serious with them, but we're not afraid to have a little fun with them. And I'm not alone. I mean, I wouldn't do this job by myself. I've got the amazing Randi O over there. Randi O, I'm so happy that you're back with us. We missed you last week.
Yes, I'm glad to be back. And it wasn't strep, for those who are listening, okay? It was just the ear infection that got down to my lungs or whatever. Ew, right? Gross. I'm good, though.
Either way, though, I mean, being sick in the middle of the week like that and having an ear infection,
yeah.
that blows. That blows. But we're happy to have you back. We missed you. A lot of people were asking about you, what had happened, if I had fired you. And I'm like, why would I fire Randi O? She's one of my favorite people here in the newsroom. I would never do anything like that.
Damn right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Then over there in the corner, I've got the great Nicole Shepard now.
Oh, my God.
Nikki Bennett, Nicole Shepard, the woman with 150 names.
Yes.
Nikki Bennett, as you guys know her, but now look at that, flashing the hardware, newly married. Look at you over there. How does it
Crazy.
feel?
It's surreal. I think it's still sinking in. I've used husband a few times this week in a sentence, and it's very weird. In a good way.
I would hope so. You've been waiting for this moment for a while. You've been dating, can I say his name on the air here? Is that okay?
Of course you can.
Malcolm, you've been dating Malcolm for a long time. He's a great guy. I mean, at some point, when you've been dating somebody for years and years like that, it probably doesn't feel much different than what it was before.
No, very true. That's very true.
And we're all really happy for you. I know the entire Power Pod crew was out there
Great.
enjoying your wedding on Saturday. But unfortunately, today, one of our members is missing. And that's the great Christina Aicklen. She's not here today with us. But you know what? She did leave us this on the WSB Radio app.
Well, hello, beautiful Power Pod crew. This is your lovely Christina. I wanted to leave an open mic on the WSB Radio app to let you guys know that I'm so sorry I'm missing today. And I know you guys are going to have a really fun show. Don't miss me too much. I promise I will be back next week. XOXO from Louisiana.
Oh, I miss Titi.
We miss Teensy.
Aw, that was sweet.
But
Very
she has to
sweet.
do her real job. She works in the fashion world. You know, not everybody can work in broadcasting like the three of us in this room now and in the great WSB studios. But she's down there in Louisiana this week, and she obviously is supporting us from afar. But we're going to do our thing. We're going to have some fun this week. We're also going to get serious on a couple of things. And this first story that really stuck out this week was on Wednesday during the day. I think the actual boycott or strike was from noon until midnight. It was all the rideshare companies, Uber and Lyft. They had several employees and a unionized group that actually started in Los Angeles and spread to Georgia. The group here is called Rideshare Drivers United, and they decided that, hey, you know what? As workers for these companies, we're not making enough money, and the people at the top need to redistribute the wealth and help us out here on the bottom. Now, I love Lyft and I love Uber. I use them religiously. In fact, for the longest time, I was an Uber VIP. I don't know if that service still exists anymore.
It does.
Oh, I know. I was a big deal. I was always on there, and I still use them to this day. So I'm not going to berate Uber and Lyft for what they do. But I will say this. This idea that people start these apps up and they think that they're full-time jobs is completely false. Like, I mean, it was never intended to be that. It was always meant to be a job that was either a side hustle or a job that you were supposed to do after hours for your other job, or if you were in between jobs. It was never meant to be a career. So I have trouble understanding. And again, it's much like the fast food debate when people were fighting for $15 an hour. Like, I want everybody to get paid. I want everybody to have a living wage. But here's the reality. Those jobs are there for a reason. It's not I don't think anybody, when you sign up for Lyft or Uber, you're thinking that you're going to get a pension plan. I just think that that's a really right. I think it's a really tough thing to address as a rider in those cars. Now, Randy, I know that you were saying that you've done this before, so you have a better insight from the driver standpoint than I do. But maybe you can help elaborate a little bit more on what these drivers want or wanted during the week and help me out here, because I have trouble understanding how people think of Uber and Lyft as a full-time job.
Okay, yeah, and see, that's where I'm going to have to, understand and kind of disagree with you, because I think it very much can be a full-time job. Because before I actually got, full-time here at the radio station, it was a side hustle for me at first. However, I was bringing in bank, okay? And I was like, okay, this was a full-time, it was paying my bills. Okay, sure enough, I didn't have insurance and all of these kind of things, and pension. We all know pension and 401k will not be around by the time we get it.
You're right about that.
So, but nevertheless, it was a way of living for me. And then my dad, who still does Uber and Lyft, it's his full time. He's retired. He doesn't have a job, and it is a full time job for him. So I understand them wanting more benefits, because at the end of the day, you're driving people from here to there, and during the weekday, it gets busy. You got to pay gas. You got to fill up your tank. It's a lot, and I think that they really should get more money. I'm totally on board with that. I think so.
Because really, at the end of the day, it's maybe not their fault that the company didn't design their app or their program or whatever it is, the right way. I was saying to you earlier, I was kind of shocked to hear Clark Howard say that when we're riding in a Lyft or an Uber, which I use Lyft all the time, the company itself is essentially losing money. We're taking money from them, which is
right, and that's how we're able to get those low costs on those things. My question to you guys is, you guys both use Uber and Lyft. I'm sure on the weekends, Randy. I know I see your Instagram.
I don't use Lyft. They banned me for life, but I don't want to talk about it. But
you got banned for life. Are you sure? Come on, we have to break this down. Well, why? What happened?
Okay, so pretty much they said I was allegedly had multiple accounts. Because they was giving a code, you get $5 off, and somebody said I had too many, so they was like, "This is against our policy. You can no longer have our services." Whatever.
This is unbelievable. I've never known this about you. So you drove for Uber then?
Yeah, I never drove for Lyft. I only did it for Uber. But yeah, Lyft, whatever.
And then banned from Lyft.
They banned me for life, girl.
That's not the worst ridiculous strategy to have multiple accounts.
But
we do not advise that on the Power Pod. Do not do.
We are not going to encourage that type of behavior, but that's crazy. I didn't know this about you, Randy O.
Whatever.
But here's the thing, though. Let's undress this a little bit more. If the costs were $10 to $15 more than what you were paying now, like, for example, if we live in Atlanta, all of us live in the Atlanta area, and we're always going out and about, whether it's to the suburbs or if we're going to the different neighborhoods here in Midtown, I am grateful when I get a $7 Uber or Lyft. I think that's amazing.
Yes. Absolutely.
But, again, these people out there that were striking on Wednesday, the problem with that philosophy is if the money gets sent down the line like that, the cost is going to get put on us as the consumer. Mm-hmm. So would you then be willing to pay if you're going from Midtown Atlanta to Buckhead, what would normally be probably an $8 to $9 Uber/Lyft ride? What if that ride became $20 to $25? Nah. Right, you're not going to do it anymore. It just becomes what the cab companies were at the time. And I worry that it's a great job for people that want to work on their own time, and
absolutely.
And if you get unions in there, if you get unions involved, it's just going to muddy it up, and it's probably going to stop it from being as reliable as it is now and as efficient as it is now. Because again, cost is a big deal. I know that we've all had friends, and I'm looking at both of y'all on this one here. We've all had friends that we had to stop from hopping in their own cars to drive home. And it's even though the Uber, it might be a surge pricing, right? It's well worth it for them to drive to actually catch an Uber or Lyft instead of driving home.
Well, especially in our city, I was going to say it's almost a necessity because we don't, the way Atlanta is planned, we don't have good public transportation.
Right. The three of us are all over the place.
Right. Exactly. And you can't hop around really everywhere. You can't spend a night in Buckhead and then go to Midtown, and it's definitely been a godsend for people, I think. Absolutely. Uber and Lyft, and maybe it'll be something we tell our kids about. Who knows?
So you think it's done, Nicole?
I don't know. The way that, honestly, I hadn't thought about it until I heard about the strike. And then it all started clicking that maybe they, like you said, they're going to have to get unions involved, or it's just going to totally change. And we'll be like our parents who say, oh, movie tickets used to be $2. We're going to be like, oh, my Uber used to be $7, So who knows?
To the Lyft and Uber drivers out there, please don't ruin this thing. We love the service. We love you guys. We love what you guys do. You bail us out all the time. Don't do this. It's not worth it. What you got over there, Randy? What's next?
All right, so also what's trending, since we're talking about, like, I guess all things digital or whatever. So with the Instagram.
Digital, huh?
Instagram has a new thing, and we're going to talk about Twitter as well. So, but first for Instagram, the new thing is a lot of times you might have posted this amazing post, like myself, that has 100 and something plus views, and then you got a big hater is going to report and they got to take it down. Well, guess what? Do not fear, you Instagrammers. Now the new thing is you can do an appeal on your post. So if somebody takes it down, you can say, wasn't nothing wrong with this picture. Put it back up. And you may actually get it back up.
Whoa, it's about time. Because some people just are haters and they just report you all the time. First of all, I'm one of those ones. Every time every time Randy puts up a post on her Insta, I'm like, report, offensive content, report, flag. See, Nicole does it too. She's admitting it. She's doing it. She submitted it over there. I got her.
I would never. Not to one of my digital peeps. Never.
No, so it's about time. It seems like we've needed this for a while. I'm surprised that it took this long for this to happen. I feel like Facebook has a measure like this already.
Facebook definitely has a measure for that, which they kind of take a little bit of a while, but I think anybody needs to have that. Because, I mean, just because somebody say, oh, I don't like this picture, it can be you, like, kissing your dog in the mouth, right? I'll get my little teeny little kissy. And somebody like, oh, my God, that's so gross. Take that down. That's not fair. They're going to take it down, and I'm showing love to my pooch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Love is love, people. Just let it.
Now, for the Instagram models that are doing the most now.
Right. Yeah, I don't think anybody's reporting the post where it's straight booty the entire time like that. Yeah, I think everybody's enjoying those posts, but yeah, when you're kissing your dog like that, oh, yeah, report. Come on now, give me a break. It's absolutely ridiculous.
So that's what's going on with Instagram. So I think that's a very good new tool that they're working on. So that's making waves. Also in the same social media aspect is Twitter. So, I am a GIF heavy person. I like to respond with GIFs, and for those are little animation things. Well, now Twitter didn't have that before, but now if you want to reply to a tweet or even retweet, you can use GIFs now.
It's about time for that. I'm surprised you couldn't do that before. And I think that for some reason, when you retweet, a GIF is necessary for that.
I don't need a word. You just want to put a little.
I love a GIF. Is it GIF?
I call it a GIF.
Okay, I'm saying a GIF, like Jiffy. I don't know.
It's a GIF. Why? It's a graphic interface.
Yes.
What is the F?
Come on, you're doing good, Jerry.
I know. I forgot the F. What's the F?
Georgie Porgy, you're still in school. What is it?
We will find out what the F is on the other side of the break. I promise you that.
The Power Pod on WSB Radio. Join the show at 800 WSB Talk or leave a comment using the open mic feature on the WSB Radio app.
Now, Randy really doesn't want me to say this, but her and her buddy are hanging out over there. What's that thing on your head over there? What is going on over there? What do you call that thing?
First of all, sometimes
Mount
ladies,
St. Helens?
Whatever, Mother's Day, Mother Nature comes around, and sometimes, she want to bring a stupid friend, okay? Ladies, you know what I mean. And Jared is being a hater. I'm going to punch him. Thank you.
Hey, listen, it happens. It happens to the best of us.
It happened to you recently, too.
Of course it happens. Believe me, I've been sweating it. I'm in the middle of May Madness where I've had 4 festivals in 5 weekends, and you best believe that that the acne is starting to come out at the end of those things. Which, speaking of festivals, I have to thank the amazing Rachel Core for all of her help with both Shaky Knees last weekend and with Shaky Beats this weekend. Cannot wait. Nicolia, what you got over there?
I'm so excited. We have a royal baby name, and it's some good.
I haven't said anything.
Your face said it all. It's some good
Go ahead.
news.
What's the royal baby's name?
It's Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor.
Mountbatten Windsor? Explain that to me.
So Mountbatten Windsor, all descendants of Queen Elizabeth and Philip, who are great-grandma and great-grandpa to baby Sussex, have that last name. So that combines, I think, Philip's last name, and I think Windsor would be Elizabeth. I'm not 100% sure on that, but my sources say.
Yeah, believe me, we've heard about your sources in other episodes.
They've
That's
been
for sure.
Attaboy, so my sources were correct.
So were you freaking out earlier this week when that news broke?
I was.
It's just a baby. It didn't do anything.
But you know what? That's kind of the point, because in today's news, we hear about the same characters, especially in politics, which I won't get political, but it was something new, fresh, happy. When a baby being born, there's nothing bad that you can say about that. And
Whoa!
Yamamoto,
Whoa!
again.
Whoa!
Oh, no.
Hey! Whoa, Jesse, what is going on?
Give me some headphones.
Okay.
George, turn my headphones up.
Whoa, Jesse Brooks. This is from the Dadsplaining podcast, a fellow coworker.
Dadsplaining, a fatherhood podcast.
I am sorry.
You know that.
Wait a second. Hold on. Cool off here. What's going on? We're doing our show right now.
Yeah, you are doing your show in my studio.
We're not in your broom closet down the hallway. Listen, I know. Listen, I'm gonna need you. You are fired. You are too fired up for me right now. Okay.
Really?
I'm this angry.
I'm worried about you, Jesse. You know, we're gonna take a little break. We're gonna try to cool things off.
I'm hot.
And I have to figure some things out here. Okay. So when we come back, we'll talk to Jesse Brooks from the Great Dadsplaining, a fatherhood podcast.
Thank you.
From Atlanta to beyond, it's the Power Pod.
And welcome back to the Power Pod. And listen, everybody's a little on edge now because Jesse Brooks from the Dadsplaining podcast.
Dadsplaining, a fatherhood podcast.
Okay, Jesse, look, I thought we had
Use
talked
the full
this
name,
out.
please.
I thought we had talked this out during the break. I'm genuinely worried about you. Okay, come on. Here's some water. All right, here, come on.
Jesse, it's okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Water look good.
Hey, I'm happy that you're here, man. This is great news. Listen, your podcast does a great thing. You guys might be down in the broom closet down at the end of the hallway, and but some of the people that are just that are Power Pod listeners might not know exactly where your anger is coming from. So what's going on?
Yeah,
like,
we
why?
love you,
I mean, you just barged in here like this. I mean,
All
come
right.
on, man.
Look, this all started about a month ago. One morning, I come into the studio thinking it's my studio. I set down my coffee. I go outside to grab my co-host, Brandon Spears, and I come back, and
Subtle
all of a
name
sudden,
drop.
Yeah, thank you. Jared Yamamoto and Tim Andrews are in my studio recording a segment for the Von Hessler Doctrine.
Well, sometimes we like to go in the broom closet and make sure things are working. We worry about you down there. And just, again, at WSB, we have hundreds of reporters, hundreds of anchors, and even more studios than you can freaking imagine. We have the longest hallway in the world.
Yeah.
In this building.
That's
and a
true.
lot of people, if you're a Power Pod fan, you know that. You know the ins and outs. But I think I know exactly what sets you off. You sent this via the open mic feature on the WSB radio app a couple weeks ago.
This message is for the Power Pod with Jared Yamamoto. This is Jesse, Jared, Tina, Nicole, Randy. Congratulations on your first podcast. You guys all did a great job.
Calm,
Loved it.
nice.
But Jared, I have to say, I know you and Randy are competing for the best podcast studio.
Randy
but
does
I know
have a
for
great
a fact
studio.
that last week you and Tim Andrews stole my podcast studio right
Okay.
out from under me when I was trying to record Dadsplaining, a fatherhood podcast. So Jared,
Name drop.
listen closely. If it's a turf war you want, it's a turf war you're going to get. And we'll see which podcast comes out on top.
Wow.
wow.
This is unbelievable. You know what, Jesse? I'm such a freaking nice guy. You can ask Randy, you can ask Nicole. They love me so much that, you know what, we talked during the break and we decided that we want you to play along with us, right, gals?
Yeah, Jesse.
I think it would be fun. So this is it's a good show. If you have you had a chance to listen to the Power Pod yet?
I listened to the first episode. I think I mentioned that in the open mic.
See, look, I like this. You're getting a little calmer. This is good. All right, so we're just talking about the royal baby. That relates with fatherhood.
Yeah.
Prince
Yeah.
Harry's a father.
Yeah.
And I know Nicoleo, listen, if you don't know anything about Nicole, the one thing you should know is that she loves the royal family and the royal baby, even though baby Sussex, Archie, is like 100th in line for the throne.
I thought Harry was the
Seventh
baby.
in line.
I feel like Harry should be the baby at this point. So you have to explain this obsession to me because, again,
We're going over this again.
I don't understand what the obsession is. Like, people were glued to their TVs when that news broke out, and I just can't believe it.
I think everybody has their obsessions and passions in life, and we should all just accept each other for those things. But mine happens to be the royal family, and I think it's the tradition.
You have a problem.
I have a
She
bit of a
doesn't.
problem. It's the tradition, though. We have nothing like that in the United States. I think it's fascinating they still keep up with tradition like this, but also that Meghan and Harry are kind of changing things. Harry walked out with the baby, which was a big deal.
Oh my God,
Oh, is that a
right?
big deal? Why is that a big deal?
It was just atypical. It was cool. I loved seeing him. He looked so
They didn't
happy.
show a lot of the baby's face, though.
They did show
It's
the
a
baby's face.
newborn.
Oh, it was
baby.
barely, though. Usually, they hold that thing up like it's the Lion King. Like it's Rafiki hold. Oh, here it is.
great.
Now. Here's here. The royal baby has been born.
That song in the background, that would have been perfect.
There we go.
Look at him. He's playing along.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
No.
What did you say?
I don't know the words.
Now, Jesse, okay, come on. You're the. It's nice to have a little testosterone in here. I'm usually surrounded by 3 women, and you can imagine what it's like in here. And in this case, you're a new father, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a big deal to have a child. But the royal baby, what? Like, what is the obsession with this?
It's
Come on.
fantasy, man. It's the same reason that guys have their favorite football teams and their favorite players, and they play the fantasy because they want to be that. They have people who love the royal family. They have the fantasy just like we have our fantasies. Like I have my Seinfeld and Twin Peaks fantasies.
Which, by the
Twin
way, if
Peaks,
you haven't
hey.
followed that account, by the way, tell people about that account. That is a
All right.
hilarious account.
That is at Sign Peaks on Instagram.
And what
combination
exact-
of Seinfeld and Twin Peaks. I don't know why I do this, but I like to make memes where I combine Seinfeld and Twin Peaks
did not
gifs
know
and
this.
pictures and stuff like that. It's really goofy, but I have almost 2,000 followers who are
Oh,
just as weird as I am.
wow! Flexing over there. Okay, that's how you know there's a little extra testosterone in this room. Wow, with all the plugs
It's
here.
a fun way to waste my time.
What is it? The Fatherhood Podcast?
Oh,
What is
and
it?
Dad's Planning, a fatherhood podcast.
Oh, Fatherhood Podcast, planning something like that.
Dad's
What's
Planning, a fatherhood podcast.
Oh,
Jared.
okay, yeah, whatever that thing's called.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
what am I on? The
Power pod.
the flower pod? What is it called?
This
I
is
like
the.
that.
Whoa, hey, this is it's not a bad name, right?
I like the flower pot.
This is the Power Pod. So
Right.
okay, so you see the fantasy of the royal baby.
Yeah, sure.
I think Randi and I are not as enthralled with it as
Mm-hmm.
many other people are there. But listen, I've had enough of it. I want to tell you guys about something else here. This is way more important news, in my opinion.
Okay.
A survey of 2,000 Americans found that for the average adult, more than a third of them are bored out there in the world. They're bored with adult life. They're bored with having kids. They're bored with just the mundane 9-to-5 work schedule. And I just wanted to get y'all's opinion about that. Are y'all bored with things? Because I feel like with this type of schedule and the lifestyle that I live, if I had a day off where I could just sit back and relax for a little while, I would thoroughly enjoy it. I mean, what are you guys feeling about that?
I mean, I'm a parent, so I don't have time to be bored.
That's true.
That's a really good point.
And I know, Randi, you're always out about that. So would you say that you're one of the third of Americans that are feeling bored in the world?
Absolutely not. Like, I'm a busybody. My hands is always in something, and I absolutely hate being bored, which is why I'm a very active person. So, not me, Jared.
Now, Nicolio, I see you over there. Do you ever feel like you're bored?
No. Well, I think.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. There we go.
No, I think everybody sometimes in their daily routine can get a little stuck in a rut, maybe, and need to change things up. But that's what I try to do. If I'm feeling that way, I change it up. And I think we're lucky, too, because working in news, we have very unique schedules. Every day is different from the next. We don't have the typical 9-to-5 desk job. Not that I'm knocking that.
It sounds like you are.
No, I'm not.
She's not.
For all the 9-to-5ers out there,
no,
wow.
I'm so sorry.
Send your cards and letters to Nicole Shepard. And,
There you go.
And let them know exactly how you feel.
No, I just think that news obviously changes every day. Sometimes not, depending on the week, but it keeps it interesting. It keeps me on my toes.
So basically, none of us agree with these 2,000 people that were surveyed by the bowling brand Bolero. So I wonder if this was if this
bowling brand?
Yeah.
Like bowling balls?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bolero.
Bolero. It's a bowling.
Who
They're
qualified
everywhere.
them to do a study?
Well, see, this is what I think. I think that this was a secret way to get people to actually go out
To the bowling
and spend
alley.
some money out there, because the four of us are all feeling. We're like, hey, we're not
Yeah.
bored. Jesse's a parent. Randy's always out and about. Nicole, when she's bored, she changes things up, and I'm always busy with things too. So whoever they surveyed, these 2,000 people are full of crap.
This is just the big bowling industry with
And
another
maybe the
conspiracy.
bowlers are bored.
Big bowl up at it again.
They're always changing things up, though.
Big
Randy,
bowl.
what you got over there?
Oh, yes. What I got over here, Jared. So, since we're talking about sports earlier, you guys all know Steph Curry.
Oh, yeah.
Golden State Warriors. Do you know his
Superstar.
wife? Do you know his wife, Aisha?
She's very pretty,
and
yes.
she's fine. She's fine.
See, you could say fine. I feel like in the Me Too movement, is it okay if I say she's fine?
Yes, Jared. You get permission, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it from the ladies in the room. I feel like it's appropriate, right?
So, yes, of Aisha Curry. So, pretty much she kind of was on the Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith, and she was just kind of venting
That's
about her
Will Smith's
insecurities.
former wife?
His current wife.
Current wife, correct.
Get it right, Jay.
Hey, listen, you're the expert on
Don't
this.
come for Jay Pinkett.
Listen, I'm trusting you. I'm eating from the palm of your hand now, Randy.
Ooh, I gotta
Tell
take
me more.
advantage of this. Okay. So anyway, Aisha Curry basically became vulnerable, and she was saying that she is sick of all of the women throwing themselves on her NBA husband, because he is kind of fine and he got money. Anyway, and she feels like, I want that same attention. She feels like nobody's jumping in her DM, and she feels some type of way.
Well, I think the problem with that is, and it goes actually further than that. Steph Curry has won 3 championships with Golden State.
Yes.
And after a while, believe it or not, once you reach that ultimate milestone of winning a championship, that family, all they know right now is how to win.
Yeah.
And so they're getting bored with winning. This is what I think is going on. Because if Steph is getting all this attention from women, that's going to happen to any NBA star.
Right.
But usually the focus on winning a championship would divert their attention from all the ladies out there. And she's a very attractive lady as well. So he would be focused on that. But because Golden State has won so much, they have to focus on sillier things like this. So I don't know if there's really a lot here with that story, but I just I'm surprised with it. I think that she needs to relax a little bit.
Well, let me ask you this.
He's an NBA star.
Hold on, Jared. So do you give your girlfriend, because the whole thing, she feels like she's not getting attention, and maybe she wouldn't feel that way if Steph Curry was giving her that attention. So do you feel like you give your lady attention so she won't feel like she needs it from other guys?
Well, it depends. See, with my girlfriend number 2 and girlfriend number 3, I try to spread out the love a little bit right there, just to make sure everybody's happy. And I think that's natural, right?
That's very sweet of you.
No.
Thank you
very
for
good.
understanding where I'm coming from.
I
think we really finally just bonded on something there, Nicole. This is great.
That's really, knighthood? Chivalry is not I took long enough to get there.
I think if I were an NBA star, I would have a different lady in every city. When I'm going around, I would.
Not
That's
as
the
a
dream.
husband.
No, well, it depends. You could call me a husband. If that's what you want.
That's what's interesting too. I thought maybe I'm misunderstanding her, but that she's not necessarily saying I'm worried about women throwing themselves at Steph, but I want men to throw themselves at me. Which
Right.
I'm like, okay.
She wants attention.
Yeah, but in a way, it's
But
sort of.
how do people know her?
I don't know.
That's my question. Obviously, again, she's been on the spotlight. If you're in the NBA circles, you're going to know kind of who she is.
I think she has a cooking
I'm about to say
show.
a cookbook and a
what I-
cooking
Who
show.
doesn't have a cooking show nowadays?
You don't have one,
have
do
a
you,
cooking
Jared?
I could start one. I make the best scrambled eggs on the planet.
A Power Pod cooking show.
Yes, let's all do it together. First we had a potluck,
Great.
now we'll do a cooking show.
Yes.
Listen,
Done.
listen, we're always full of ideas here. Nicole, what you got over there? What's next?
Okay, conspiracy theories. I love conspiracy
These are always
theories.
fun.
So
Look
apparently,
at Jesse. He's so warm now.
I'm
He's smiling.
so excited about
He's
this.
smiling
know.
now. This is amazing.
this is great. So it brings everybody together, I think. So a Reddit user posted a question: what conspiracy theory do you believe in and why? And the responses were so hilariously intriguing. So I wrote down a couple. We'll try and speed through some of them. The first one, a little more cliche, the UFO sighting theory. But that UFO sightings are just humans from the future on a time-traveling safari.
What?
I don't know, guys.
So are you on board with this conspiracy theory?
I don't know. Well, they're saying that that's why we haven't been attacked by any aliens because it's really just us in the future. And that's why we do see UFOs from time to time, because it's human error. So we're seeing the mistakes that
Human error.
What do you guys think? I
believe in UFOs. Y'all don't?
You believe in UFOs?
I feel like
You
there's
do?
something in the outer space that is happening. Absolutely.
Well, space is so vast that I just
It
think
is.
I just think that the human concept it's hard to it's hard to conceptualize exactly how big space is. And,
can't.
And yet you can't do it.
Yeah.
And
So it's possible.
it wouldn't surprise me that life out there exists, but the problem is that the idea of a UFO is it's a man-made concept, right? Like we've created this idea of, the flying saucer image for what a spaceship would look like. And I just don't know if I agree with that, or the little green men that are
the Martian.
that just happen to have 2 legs and
They're
2
not
arms
green.
and
They're
they
blue.
Oh, okay. Well, see
I know
exactly.
from experience.
Oh, he's getting angry.
Oh,
again.
okay.
Oh,
okay.
experience.
I've
Wait.
been visited.
You have?
Yeah.
When did it happen?
I was 9 years old, and I heard a loud noise in my backyard, and I went outside, and there were aliens. And then I woke up. Wait, I might have dreamed this.
JBZ.
We will explore more of this story. I am extremely interested on the other side.
The Power Pod on WSB Radio. Join the show at 800 WSB Talk or leave a comment using the open mic feature on the WSB Radio app.
Okay, so breaking news on the last segment, we found out that Jesse Brooks, who is the host of Dadsplaining, a fatherhood podcast, I think I finally gotten this
You got it right. Good
throughout
job.
the show. And you've calmed down, but we learned something really cool about you this time. And you said we were talking about strange conspiracy theories that are going on and UFOs and what's going on like with them. It's an illusion, right?
It's future humans, humans from the future on a time-traveling safari.
And Jesse admitted that he had been visited. And I want to, you think it's a dream, or do you think what happened?
I don't know if I dreamed it or if I was dreamt it. Okay, all right. I don't know if I dreamt it or if this is something that actually happened. But I remember clear as day. I was 9 years old. I heard a loud noise in the backyard. I go outside, and it's midnight, right? But the sky is filled with light, and I hear an angelic voice from above. And these beings descend, and they're blue, and they're 9 feet tall, and they speak to me, but they're speaking Icelandic, so I don't understand what they're saying.
Okay, the fact that they would have any kind of Earth-sounding language like that just shows that you are full of it and you are dreaming. What's the next conspiracy theory?
Okay, so I'll speed through. So there were a couple that were, I thought, just really funny. Like restaurants sing happy birthday to embarrass you out of ordering free birthday food, which I thought was hilarious. Like, that would not be the worst strategy.
That is fantastic. I love it.
Right?
I agree with that one.
I would not surprise me if that was the
But
case.
I love getting the
Totally.
happy birthday singing.
Do you
so
really?
it doesn't deter me.
Right.
Yeah,
Me-
I'll
me
wear
as
the
well.
hat. I'll kiss the stuffed animal, like whatever they bring
Oh,
to the table. I'm doing. I'm
wow.
on board.
Okay, and so, Randy, you can back me up on this. Women's fake pockets on clothing. You know how they'll have faux pockets
Yep,
sometimes?
ugh.
All a conspiracy to get us to buy purses, which I was like,
Okay.
I totally get that one.
Strategy.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Strategy.
And the last one I'll end on is Disney only named a movie Frozen. The idea came around to distract people from searching Frozen Head because, the rumor is Walt Disney was cryogenically frozen.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So they
Yeah,
wanted
that's
to
the rumor, yeah.
distract from that and created Frozen, which I don't know about that one.
That, people are so freaking creative.
I can buy that.
I know.
Like, what
These
are
are
you
all those
smoking?
bored people that we were talking about earlier in the show that have all this extra time.
It's the bowling. It's Big Bowl.
It's Big Bowl.
Big bowl at it again. That's
Bowl.
the conspiracy.
That's it.
That's who's creating all these wacky ideas out there.
great.
There are a few conspiracy theories that I feel could be real, like again the alien life thing. But come on now, the faux pants, like they're giving me a freaking
I don't
break
know.
to buy a purse.
I buy
You're
it.
not a
hate-
woman, Jared. You don't understand.
There's
Hey.
nothing worse than a faux pocket.
Oh my God, you be trying to tell
As a married man, I can say having to carry my wife's cell phone and keys around because she doesn't have pockets. Like I'm ready. Like let's move into the future, right? Let's have progress
Let's
on
do
that
it.
and give women real pockets.
Come on, Jared.
Real people deserve real pockets.
Come on. We're pro
JBZ.
pocket here.
You know what, radio? You come on because it's time for you to shine. It's time for Randy's Rundown.
It's Randy's Rundown.
All right, here we go, guys. So let's get into it. So let's talk about Bill and Hillary. Hey, Clintons. So, guys, did you know their tickets are plunging for their next speaking tour?
It wouldn't surprise me. It's hard to go out and see a politician go out there. Bill is looking really old. Hillary is. Listen, I'm not trying.
Bill.
I'm not saying that Bill's not a good guy. I'm just saying that he's starting to get the shaky voice, the kind of the old man look to him, and Hillary, I mean, she lost the last presidential cycle, and not many people feel that fondly about her anymore. So I can understand why the ticket prices are plummeting, and who would pay thousands of dollars when there's so many better shows to go out there and see? Give me a break versus seeing the Clintons. What else you got over there?
Okay, moving on. So the Kentucky Derby. Did you guys have your pretty big hat? I did. Okay, so listen. There was an appeal filed by Maximum Securities owners. It was denied. So that was the horse who did win. Then they said he didn't win, and the owner tried to appeal it, and guess what? He did not win.
Yeah, this was an unbelievable call. I don't know if any of you guys saw it live on
did.
Sunday. Or on Saturday. This was unbelievable.
They disqualified him. They did. So for the first time in the history of the Kentucky Derby, the horse that crossed the line first has been disqualified.
But they made the right call. It's safety first. Make sure those horses are in better condition. It stinks that we won't get a Triple Crown winner this year. But hey, you know what? Better safe than sorry. What's next?
Okay, for my sports fans out there, XFL signs a TV deal with ESPN, Fox, ABC for the 2020 launch. What does this mean, Jared?
Hey, I think this is a good thing. This is going to air right after the NFL season is going to right after the NFL season. The XFL existed, I want to say, when I was much younger, probably about 15 to 20 years ago. And there's going to be 10 teams involved. Atlanta does not have a team, so I can't really get invested right away, but I root for them. I love football. I think it's a good idea. Let's see how it goes.
Hold on, can you tell me what it stands for? XFL?
I think it's Extreme Football League is what it stands for.
Okay,
there's no kickoffs. People run for the ball. They used to put like sludge in the middle of the field, and a lot of the players that didn't make it in the NFL get a chance to play because there's a ton of good football players that aren't on NFL rosters. So I think it's a good thing. Hopefully it can do much better than the last startup league did. What else you got for me over there?
Jared, you're a lot smarter than you look. Okay, so Avengers, the Endgame, the movie.
Avengers? Avengers? I haven't seen that one.
I mess his name every time. Okay, the Avengers. Yes, the Endgame crushes $2 billion milestone in record time.
Billion
Clinton.
dollars. Look at Jesse. He's over there counting his money as if he got something out of that. Wow, this is unbelievable. I mean, good for them. I haven't had a chance to see the movie.
You still haven't seen it?
I know.
I haven't seen it either.
Okay, good. So we're in this together. We're not going to give any spoilers. We need to see it. It's apparently a really good film, so we need to go get a chance to go see it. Maybe we'll do it as a Power Pod crew. But what else you got over there, Radio?
Alrighty, for my favorite gamers, Mortal Kombat. Any Mortal Kombat fans?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Guess what? They've been inducted into the World Video Game Hall of Fame.
Remember that?
Finish him.
Get over here.
Yeah.
I wonder what other games are in that Hall of Fame. Like I didn't even realize that this was the
Mario's got to be in there. I
Oh,
guess.
it has to.
Gotta be. Sonic, the Hedgehog.
yeah.
And they better be in there. But good for Mortal Kombat. Happy for them. What else you got over there, Radio?
Last thing, for all of those who like to go see the things or whatever, Swinging Richards. If you know what that is in Atlanta.
Things.
Yeah, the swinging
The
things
things.
are now in bankruptcy.
Oh,
Nobody
no.
want to see swinging things.
Yeah, did you see they also got sued because they didn't pay their dancers? This is unbelievable. Those people need to get paid. There's a GoFundMe account.
Richard, how could you?
Right? Yeah, I don't know. This is
Why did you protest, Jared? I know you used to work there. Why didn't you protest?
I did, but the problem was I had my 401k and my pension already, so all is well with me and Swinging Richards.
good.
We wish them the best. For anybody that enjoys that type of scene, hey, you know what? There's other choices out there. Believe me, I live in Midtown. There's plenty of that stuff out there. But hey, you know what? We had a wonderful time this week. Jesse, you know what? I think we had a good time, right? I think
It's.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
I'm so pretty raw. I can't let this go.
Oh,
you
you
know
had
what?
fun.
I need something from you. Like, I need just one session in the good studio. Just
Oh,
one.
absolutely not. You're not getting in the studio at all.
Not even one?
No, not at all.
All right, I'm
no,
on again.
no, Jesse,
can't
we
do
worked so
this.
hard on this. Come on.
I'm coming for you, Jared. I'm coming for you, Power Pod.
Well, just like that, when you think that we worked on him, we thought we had him,
We don't.
Jesse's out of here. He's gone. This was a really fun show, guys. Let's all put our hands in here together. And you know what? I was hoping that Jesse would do it with us, but I guess he can't this time because he's run out of the room. And we're going to do what we always do every week. We're going to count to 3. Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Power Pod! We'll see you next week!